Good morning YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna start a new series where I'm gonna take my Husqvarna 401 Svartbillen through whole Switzerland over the Grand Tour of Switzerland, covering over 1,600 kilometers, 22 lakes and a lot of mountain passes. Hold on tight and enjoy the ride. See you later. As you might have noticed, I'm not using any kind of navigation. That's because over there you see the sign of the Grand Tour of Switzerland, which covers the whole route. So if you decide to spontaneously drive the Grand Tour of Switzerland by car or by motorcycle or on your bike, just follow those signs. At the right you can see the second lake, Lake Baldec, which is smaller than Lake Hallwyl before, which means it also warms up quicker, so you can go swimming earlier in the season. We started our trip at Schloss Hallwyl, and there are a lot of castles in this region. So over here is our next castle, or a church, and we are ending our castle trip in Lucerne at Schloss Gutsch. This is actually also a monastery back in the day. And over there you see the lake. So we're now still heading towards Lucerne, which is over there. That's called Mount Pilatus, as mentioned before. And then afterwards we're gonna continue our ride all the way along those mountains towards Mount Rigi, which is over there, also called Queen of the Mountains, and we're gonna drive behind it to our left towards Zürich. So we are now entering the city, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but on top of that hill is Chateau Gutsch, and that's where we're going next. So if you're in the city, you can see the signs Park Gutsch. There is the Grand Tour of Switzerland sign again. We're gonna make our way up towards the castle. This is our first little climb. And when we are on top, we have this great panorama over the city. And I think personally Lucerne is the most beautiful city of whole Switzerland. It covers everything. You have the mountain panorama, you have the lake, you have the beautiful old town. Amazing. And down there is Lake Lucerne, the old town, and the old city wall, which you can also hike on. So you go up there on the left side of the city wall, and then you can climb the first tower and walk the whole city wall until the end. And afterwards we're gonna continue our ride. We're gonna go back down along the lake and make our way to Brunnen, where we'll have some lunch. Like 30 steps downward from the parking lot, you have this little art gallery on the right, and the older part of the castle as well. Very beautiful. And over there is our Grand Tour Switzerland sign. Look at how beautiful the weather is and the city. So we're gonna go all the way down to the Chapel Bridge along the lake. What a beautiful day to ride. We're now entering the old town of Lucerne, heading towards the central station and the Chapel Bridge. It's just amazing to stroll through all these blocks, and of course to ride. Make sure you don't come over here on a Saturday though, then there is a lot of traffic jam. Over here is the central station, so if you want to go on a Saturday I really recommend to come by train, especially if you're traveling by plane towards Switzerland from Zürich or Basel. This is what I mean. We have an ordinary Tuesday morning. You can stand here easily for like 15 minutes. On our left we have the River Royce and the Chapel Bridge, and on our right we have the beautiful Lake Lucerne. And in front of us we have the beautiful old town with all its shops, chocolatiers, and if you take a left right here you'll get to the famous watch alley where you can buy a Swiss watch. So now we're gonna head over to our right. Continue with our grand tour of Switzerland. So, navigating throughout the city might be a bit confusing, but just follow the lake and there we have our waypoints again. We had a great lunch, stretched our legs, got some coffee in, and we're continuing our Grand Tour Switzerland. The higher mountains, the Alps, I'm gonna leave behind me, and now I'm heading towards Sattel, over those mountains which you see in front of me, getting some nice corner work in, some nice steep climbs and descents. Really looking forward to it. As you can see, we're already ascending, and on our left, I don't know if you were able to see it, we have the Eggerisee, or fourth lake of today's ride. We are now in Sattel, a cute little mountain town on top of a shoulder, and on my right you can take the cable car all the way up the mountain. It's a great family destination, also with smaller kids. You have some great hikes up there, cute playgrounds. Yeah. Now we're going for a little detour to Einsiedeln. I've never been there before, so I'm very curious what it will be like. There is a huge monastery we're gonna check out, and afterwards we're gonna descend again to the Lake of Zürich, and we're gonna drive along the Lake of Zürich all the way up to Zürich, where we will end the trip of today. And the next time we're gonna start off in Zürich and drive all the way up to the Rheinfälle, which is a big waterfall over here in Switzerland. I believe the biggest waterfall in Europe. front of us we have the monastery or the Kloster of Einsiedeln, and I've heard so many things about it, but I've never had the chance to visit. It should also be well worth a visit during the winter time, because in the winter time during Christmas there should be this big market. It looks so amazing, guys. Look at this, it's massive. The old town looks pretty nice as well, so I'm just gonna do a quick tour through the old town and then I'm gonna park and do a little walk across this beautiful town. I cannot even ride here. Alright. I guess no ride through the old town then. And look at there. Our little photo spot. Then I'm just gonna park and do a quick walk. Look at this sexy Harley and the yellow Honda. Love it, love it. If you're still watching my video, I would appreciate it if you would leave a comment and a like down below. You can really help me out as a moto influencer or moto content creator, and I would be very grateful to see what you want to see next and what do you think of the video. Thank you, thumbs up. So I wasn't allowed to film inside the monastery, inside the abbey. That is too bad, because it was amazing, it was unbelievable. But of course we respect the rules, we respect the church. So I guess you have to check it out yourself. It's well worth the detour. It was unbelievable. Statues, paintings, everything coated with gold. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now we're heading towards Zurich. We're gonna cross the Zurich Lake on a bridge and then head up north towards the city. At our right you see lake number 4 or 5, I lost count, the Zielsee. So as you can see, Switzerland has a lot of lakes. I believe every 5 or 10 kilometers you should get to another lake in this country. So many lakes. There she is, Lake Zurich on our left. Also one of the bigger lakes of this Grand Tour Switzerland. Definitely not the biggest lake. The Vierwaldstättersee or the Lake Lucerne is bigger, and Lake Geneva or the Genfersee is the biggest lake in Switzerland. So we're gonna descend from this hill or mountain, as you would call it, and then we're gonna cross this huge lake over a bridge, and there should be another Grand Tour Switzerland photo spot in the middle of it. So I'm very excited to see what it looks like, because you should be able to park on that bridge to make a nice photograph. Also feel free to follow me on my Instagram. It's the same name, 4 Trail Steps, and I'll be posting the Grand Tour Switzerland photos over there. It's also getting pretty warm. I have my full winter equipment on, because this morning it was like -2 degrees Celsius when I left at home, and now we're probably hitting the 20s. Yeah, I believe around 20 would be allowed, around 20 degrees today. So as long as we're driving it's okay, but I had a little bit of traffic jam up the hill, and then it's really getting hot. Now we're on the bridge. Look at this view. Beautiful mountains on the right, lake on the left. And I thought we were done with the castles for today, but hey, Switzerland decided something else. Got treated with another one. I've not seen our Grand Tour Switzerland sign yet, had to be on the middle of the bridge, according to the internet. Maybe we've missed it. But hey, look at this. Nice playground over there. And there is our sign. Hell yeah. That means I'm gonna treat myself with some ice cream over here in the village. Get a picture over there. Stunning, stunning. So, for those of you who skipped the beginning of this video, shame on you. No, just kidding. We are at the end of our trip, driving along the Gold Coast of the Zurich Lake. Gold Coast because probably the evening sun is shining on this side. The very expensive part of the lake as well to live, of course. Driving towards Zurich, 25k ahead of us, the last 25k of today. I hope you've enjoyed the ride so far. If not, too bad for you. I liked it for sure. The weather was great, not too much traffic because I'm riding during the day, of course, and under the week, not on the weekend. We have some vineyards on our right, the Zurich Lake on our left. What else do you need? Cheap gasoline, probably. I really recommend you to throw in some gas or some fuel on the other side of the lake or over here, because when you're driving into Zurich, prices will bump up like 10 to 20 cents a liter probably. If you want to know what my fuel usage was so far, I've ridden, let me check, 140k so far, and I still have half a tank left, so I probably burned through 4 or 5 liters of fuel. It's not too bad. And we came from that hill over there, so that is where we came down. Einsiedeln and Sattel is up there. So guys, let me tell you a little fun fact about Switzerland, which can be very frustrating so now and then. At the moment we're driving through Küsnacht, and this morning we drove through Küsnacht am Rigi. So it's the same name for the city or town, but it's on a different location in Switzerland, and it happens a lot. So you have Muri and Muri by Bern, you have Küsnacht, Küsnacht in Zürich, Küsnacht am Rigi, Rapperswil, Rapperswil Jona. So you really have to watch out if you Google some place you want to go to, because you might end up somewhere completely elsewhere in the country. I catch the first glimpse of Zurich in front of us. Over there it is, the city of Zurich, our end destination of today. If you're staying longer in Zurich, or if you are planning to go to Zurich, on our left with the big antenna there is the Uetliberg, which is also a nice viewpoint to see all over the northern part of Switzerland and the city as well. You can get up there by public transport, or if you want to, you can also hike up. It's an easy hike, also family friendly, a lot of activities at the top. The same as Lucerne, you have a couple of parties along the lake and a very nice lake walk right next to it. Over here is the Wiese, it's called, and there is a Chinese garden which you must pay a visit when you are around Zurich. Over here you see the temples of the China garden. As we come to an end of this trip, I want to talk to you about the time I've spent on my bike today. So we left around 10:15 a.m. and now we have 15:30. So around 5 hours on my bike, but I had a couple of breaks because I had some lunch. We visited the Abbey of Einsiedeln, making photos and all that, changing batteries of the GoPro. So I think you can make it in like 4 hours or so. But yeah, if you want to have some breaks and visit the scenery and the highlights on this trip, calculate 5 to 7 hours. Here we are, finally in Zurich. On our right we have the river Limmat, which is flowing from the Lake of Zurich, which is on our left. We have a beautiful fountain over there, a Ferris wheel. I'm not sure if we have some carnival going on or if it's just a Ferris wheel. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We did around 180-190 kilometers of riding. I got out of Zurich. Just to be sure, for you guys, the drive into the city is not part of the Grand Tour of Switzerland. So I would really recommend you to just take a ride throughout the city when you if you like, and then navigate again to get out of the city back on the Grand Tour again. I hope you liked this video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. I would really be grateful if you do that. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the Grand Tour, about my Husqvarna or about me. And I would be really happy to see you again next video, where we're gonna continue our tour from Zurich to the northern part of Switzerland. Ciao zusammen!